What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. If you have kids in the room or you're at work and you got your speakers on, this is probably not safe for work, so you probably want to go ahead and click off. What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage, and today we got to talk about the shit show that is the actual car market. Now, I have a feeling that by the time I get home, this is going to all be considerably much worse, but we had some internal documents that came from Bank of America that they are expecting over a quarter. They're saying, this is apocalyptic for them, but they're expecting that up to and near a quarter of their current active loans that they've given out in the last year on trucks and big V8 cars are going to default. Damn. Now, I know that probably sounds extremely crazy to you, but you have to think about this, right? The car market did something that it hasn't done, I don't think, ever. And that was, you could buy a car brand new. Usually when you buy a car, as soon as you drive it off the lot, you lose money. But this market in the last year, an average everyday daily driver, if you bought it in, say, 2020, you could have sold it for more money in 2021 after you drove it. I'll give you a prime example. My 2020 Dodge Challenger Scatpack. Granted, it was totaled by the insurance company, but when I purchased that vehicle, I got that vehicle for $39,900. Okay? Now, yes, the insurance company takes into effect, your wrap or any modifications or whatever you did to the car, but my car appreciated so much in that 1 year of ownership, and I had over 36,000 miles on the car, that my insurance company paid out over $52,000. Think about that. An everyday normal V8 car went from $39,900 actual sticker price on the car to $52,000. That's over 12 grand in appreciation in a year. Now, that was just for a 2020 Dodge Challenger Scatpack. Imagine what happens when you get to, say, a Dodge Ram, all right, or an F-150. I know many friends that had gasoline, not diesels. Now, diesels I can get, that they can still do that, depending on what the market is at the time, if they produced enough of them. Diesel trucks kind of hold their value for a little bit, all right? Same thing like Jeeps, all right? But the thing that was crazy was a gasoline truck, like, say, an F-150 with a friggin' EcoBoost, right? Not even like an actual V8, an EcoBoost. You could have bought that truck, drove it for over a year, put 20,000 miles on it, and sold it for more money than you bought it for. Crazy. So what does that mean? Well, what it meant for the market is vehicle prices went way up, right? So check this out. The person that bought the basic Scat Pack, like mine, manual, even if I had the nicer interior, whatever, right? If you bought a Scat Pack and you paid $52,000 for it, congratulations. You played yourself. You just got fucked. Hard. Oh, I'm also talking to you, guy who bought the 1500 Dodge Ram and you paid, $65,000 for it, used. You just got fucked. Hard. So here's the thing. Banks get it now, especially here's what I can tell you. Ask anybody in the car market right now. The average amount that you can get a loan on a car is usually about 125. In some cases, depending on the make, model, and car, you could get 150% loan to value. And that means like 150% of the value of the actual car you could get as a loan. That way you can buy like warranties and a bunch of other shit. It depends on the car, right? But a good rule of thumb is like 120 to 125%, okay? I'm telling you this as somebody that's an actual wholesaler and somebody that deals with the market. So 125%. Here's the thing. Banks ain't writing them shits right now. The big banks, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, who's another big one? Or there are some that are still writing those 125% loan to value notes, like USAA and Ally Bank. But, you know, those interest rates you were getting on a brand new truck, like a 3500 Ram or whatever. Yeah, that 2.9% or whatever, or 0% APR through Chrysler Financial, which is basically just Santander, whatever it was you were using, that shit's over with. They can still advertise that you can get 0%. You ain't getting 0%. I'm telling you, I literally just went and looked because, you know, gas prices are about to break $4 a gallon out here in Las Vegas, right? I'm sure by the time I publish this video, because I'm traveling, and I've already said this, I expect to see $6, $7 a gallon here in Las Vegas. So, you know, it's probably like $4.30, $4.40, something like that, I'm guessing, right now at the time of me publishing this video. And I only know this because, like, this video is set to publish. This video will be set to publish like 9 days after I film it, right? So it'll be interesting to see how much the gas prices changed in 9 days, and you can tell me in the comments if I was right or wrong. But to see these internal documents from Bank of America saying that they expect up to 25% of these notes that they wrote to default, yeah, I get it. You're paying, you know, 7.9% on a $65,000 Dodge Ram 1500 that had 40,000 miles on it, and now that truck's worth 39. Fuck. Now, I don't want to say all doom and gloom and say like it's the apocalypse and shit, but this reminds me so much of the housing market in 2008 that and anybody that works in finance at a car dealership can tell you the same thing, and I'm sure they'll comment below. It's getting harder for people with good credit to get good loans, okay? Now, that's not everywhere in the country, and there are credit unions and stuff that are still loaning money, and they don't give a shit. I gotta beat this damn cold before I leave, man. They're not gonna let my ass go. They're gonna think I got COVID or something. Whew. So what does that mean for like the average consumer? It's going to be harder to get a loan, and you're going to see prices of these vehicles crash. Now, I've already shot another video, you know, talking about the market rapidly declining, at least in the wholesale market. And I think we're going to start seeing it in the retail market too, right? As these gas prices go up, and like I said, I fully expect to see $5, $6 gas, maybe even $7 here in Las Vegas, right? All of these people driving these 1500s, 2500 power wagons with the Scatpack motor, Scatpacks. Look, that shit is a wrap. When your gas bill or how much it costs for you to fuel your car to drive around costs more than the payment, yeah, that's going to be a problem. And you're going to see a lot of people trying to dump these vehicles. And if you're thinking about selling or dumping them now, it might be too late. You know, you might be outside the window of you not getting fucked. Luckily for you, if you have a Scatpack or a Hellcat or something like that, you can sit on that car for a little bit because they're not going to make those in a few years. And barring gas prices not being $15 or $20 a gallon, we'll see if we get into World War III. Then, you know, you have the possibility of selling your car for more than you paid for it still a little bit down the road, if you don't mind hanging on to it and making that payment and leaving the shit basically parked. But, you know, also, I shout out to my dude E-Vapors in North Carolina, Mr. Tesla himself. Look, here's the thing. if you if you were like, you know what, I'm just gonna go buy a Tesla. I looked. All right, I've been actively looking at Model 3s at CarMax, and I'm willing to bet money right now that with what's going on in the market with gas prices, Elon is not a scumbag. He's a smart business guy. I'm willing to bet money that the prices on the Model 3, the Model S, you know what, maybe not the Model S. It might be just the Model 3 and the Model Y, because those are the lower priced vehicles. I bet you they go up in price. Now, it ain't going to be a lot. It's probably going to be like $500, maybe $1,000, right? And there's already internal stuff talking about them raising prices. It's just nothing is confirmed or official yet. So it'll be interesting to see if that actually comes to light. But yeah, you know, this is a very scary time if you recently got a car loan in the last year and you bought a used car, because we all know that buying a new car was almost friggin' impossible. You weren't buying nothing new shit. It was done. You were screwed, right? So hopefully, and I hope, if you did buy one of these vehicles, I hope you got gap. That's all I can tell you. I hope you got gap, and I hope somebody doesn't T-bone your shit one day. Oh, man, it's really bad right now. It's really, really, really bad. And I don't see it getting better anytime soon. I feel sorry for you guys that bought these trucks and these cars, but I think I said it too on the used side, that if you were buying one of these used trucks or cars at these massively inflated rates, you were fucked. And you know who's going to enjoy all of this, though? You know whose business is going to explode again, just like it was in 2008? Repo guys. You got to remember all these shows that were popping up on TV and these businesses that were booming, Lizard Lick Towing, the Hispanic dudes that had the repo joint on TV, on TLC out of California and shit. Yo, all that stuff's about to be popping again, because you're going to have all of these loans defaulting. And people are going to come, banks want their shit. They're coming to get these cars. So, it is what it is, man. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And, yeah. I hope you're not one of the ones that got fucked, because that sucks.